Hey guys, welcome back to A2 Audio. Today on the channel, I've got some new cases I want to announce. And so both of these have been highly requested. And so I'm happy to go ahead and start offering them on my website, atoaudio.com. And so you don't see a receiver here. Instead, what you see are some pieces of wood. And so I figured I'd share with you guys, it's not always success when you build these cases. You know, we're trying to refabricate something that was built 50 years ago, make sure everything lines up. And one of the cases that I built, I got all the way done with it, ready to stain it, and I realized that it just wasn't going to cut mustard. There were several imperfections in it, misalignments, and some people would have been like, that case is good enough, and they would have been very happy to have it for the receiver. But after I looked at it, and I looked at it longer, I just couldn't send it out that way. And so I wound up redoing the entire case, and this is what's left of the pieces of that case after I got done doing it. And so sometimes you just have to chop one up to a learning experience and start all over. And so, but I'm really glad I did, because I changed my process on how I was going to build that case, made some better templates, and I think it's going to be easier for me to make that case in the future and make it look a lot better and a lot nicer and have everything lined up and just be more precise with the measurements. And I really think that matters, that attention to detail, because, you know, these cases aren't cheap and these vintage receivers aren't cheap. And so we're really trying to make these things to last hopefully another 50 years and to look great. And so I really spent a lot of time trying to nail down those details, and I've gotten a lot of positive feedback, and I'll put some of that feedback on the screen here about the cases that I've made. And so a lot of people are happy, and I want to keep people happy. And as you guys know, I'm a one-man show, and so it takes me a little while to fabricate new cases. And I only build cases for stereos that I actually have in stock. And so fortunately, I think I own probably over 100 receivers, so that gives me a pretty wide berth of receivers that I can make cases for. But every other day, it seems like I get a request for a receiver that I don't own to build a case. There's just not a lot of people building custom cases out there for many receivers. So when I get a chance to do some R&D and design a new case, it's kind of a big deal, because I have so many case orders already that I'm building for customers or people who are wanting their case or restoring receivers, you know, and then working a full-time job and working on equipment that people have brought me in. And so making YouTube content and whatnot. So it's really a balance between trying to get all these things done. You can't really commit to any one side of the business, you know, whether that be making cases or restoring receivers. You kind of have to have a flow to all of it, and that includes making content like this and also designing new cases. So I'm happy to announce that we've got two new cases coming to the website. One is for the Pioneer SX-780. And I know what you're saying. Hey, Mike, you already have a case for the 780. But this case is going to be exactly like the original. It's going to have the metal vent in it, and it's going to look exactly like the original OEM case that it was. I really got a lot of requests for that. People want to keep things original, and I respect that. And so I did some designing on my CNC software, and I was able to fabricate that hole and get it lined up perfect the way that I would want it to be before I send something out. And so a gentleman named Richard reached out to me and asked me to make that case. And so I'm happy to have done that, and it made it really look really good. And so sometimes when the subscribers challenge me to do something, that's the gentle push that I need in order to get things done. And so I really appreciate that. And so that case looks amazing. And so if you're one of those people who want to keep things original, this case is going to be for you. I've probably had 10 or 15 people ask for this case, so I'm assuming this is probably going to hopefully be a top seller. Who knows though? But you can find those cases at atoaudio.com. The next case that I got has also been requested. I don't know if it's been requested 10 or 15 times like the original OEM 780 case, but it's for the Pioneer SX-3900. And so this was their flagship receiver. And so this is a beautiful case, and that's the one that I had the problems with when I was making the template. And so it just didn't align quite right, and I had a couple of things off, and I just wasn't happy with it. The quality control check person decided that wasn't going out of the shop, so I had to basically start all over. And so that was frustrating, because I wasted probably I'd say probably a good half a day of dicking around and getting templates and holes lined up and whatnot. My wife and son actually walked into the shop when I had that realization of I was going to have to do this all over again. And she just kind of looked at me and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I had just a kind of the look of defeat on my face. You know, probably he was shedding some tears as well. But that happens, you know, and so sometimes you have to eat it and start all over just to get it perfect, because it's going to be something that you want people to be happy with and be proud of on their vintage equipment. So enough about me talking and blabbing about these cases. Let's show you guys a couple of these receivers and show you what they look like. So without further ado, here are some pictures.
On a drive-in sintered backbone with deep, resonant bass lines anchoring the groove. The melody is carried by shimmering retros and retro-futuristic synth pads. A punchy, syncopated drum beat keeps the energy high, while subtle effects like filter sweeps and rides just create magnetic tension. The absence of vocals allows the paging to shine, making it perfect for a club or high energy setting.
So what do you guys think? Those things look pretty awesome, aren't they? And so I'm super, super excited about having them and again, expanding my case selection on my website. And so again, that's going to be on atoaudio.com. I made a blunder just a second ago when I was talking about who challenged me to make that 780 case. It was actually Steve. So hi, Steve. Sorry. I had another guy named Richard who ordered right after you, and I just got y'all's names mixed up. But Steve is the one that pushed me to make that case. And so I appreciate that gentle nudge in order to get me moving in the right direction and give you guys some more selection. And so hopefully by the time this video comes out, both of those will be available on the website. It does take a little time to just put it on the website, aka Mike not being lazy and doing it. But I'm super happy with that. Now I do want to caveat with the 780 is that I don't have enough metal vents probably for everybody who wants one. And so if that's I'm probably going to have two options on there, one with a metal vent, and I'm assuming that one will probably sell out pretty quickly. And so I think I have 8 metal vents currently that I can use to reproduce those cases. And so what I've done is I've sandblasted all those metal vents and I'll repaint them so the paint will actually look really, really nice and look like the one you guys saw in that picture. So that'll be an option until I run out of metal vents. After that, if I have people who want to supply their own metal vent, they can send it to me, and then I can repaint it if they need it repainted or something like that, or they can just repaint it themselves and glue it in when the case comes in. And so that'll be an option as well. Probably there'll probably be a price difference for those that come with the metal vent versus those that come without the metal vent, and I haven't quite nailed that down yet, but that'll be an option. Same thing with the SX-3900. I don't have those metal vents, so that case will come without a metal vent, and you'll just have to install your own metal vent. I'll probably also have an option for the 3900, like on my other cases where there is no metal vent, and I just carve out groove lines, and so that'll be an option as well. But either way, either one of those will be able to be engraved with the Pioneer logo and name, and I think that just really makes it look sharp and pretty awesome. And so super excited, like I said numerous times, about being able to offer these on the website. I hope you guys are too. If you know somebody who's got a beat up case that wants to keep it original, point them out, let them know, hey, ATO is the place to go. And so thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video.